Welcome to Roadshow Rivals, where we bring together the best of the best to find out which machine you should take home. Today it's small SUVs, and we have three of the latest entrants into this increasingly competitive market. From Jeep, the chunky Renegade; from Mazda, the rather more curvaceous CX-3; and from Honda, it's the brand new HR-V. We'll start with the HR-V, which you can think of as a slightly less compact version of one of our favorite compact cars, the Honda Fit. It's a little bit taller, a little bit more room inside, has available all-wheel drive, yet still manages 35 miles per gallon on the highway. It's possibly the most family-friendly choice of the three, but it's also probably the most boring. As configured, our HR-V starts at a reasonable $26,720.
This is the 2016 Jeep Renegade, and as an added bonus, this is the trail-rated version, baby! Now, what it lacks in cargo space, it certainly does make up for in off-road prowess. I've got 29 miles per gallon EPA estimated on the highway and an MSRP of $31,440. So it's a little pricey. Tiny little bit.
The third car in our roundup is the 2016 Mazda CX-3. This is like a beefier version of the Mazda 3, and it's got plenty of Mazda's zoom spirit, plus some surprising driver assistance features. This front-wheel drive model gets 35 miles per gallon on the highway, and our as-tested price is $28,340.
We'll start with age before beauty, and we're inside the Jeep Renegade, which is the oldest of the three, but that's not saying much since it's only been on the market since last year. As Emmy mentioned, it's the most expensive car, but it's also the most powerful, with 180 horsepower on top and 175 pound-feet of stump-pulling, trailer-towing torque. Actually, you can only tow about a 2,000-pound trailer, but that's more than the other two who aren't rated to tow anything at all. It's also the heaviest of the bunch, weighing in at 3,490 pounds. That's thanks to the complex 4x4 system underneath. Go for the two-wheel drive version and you'll shave some 400 pounds off of that mark, but you also get a smaller motor to go along with it. In terms of driving dynamics, well, this is not a road-optimized machine. This is a Jeep, after all, and it feels like you're driving a Jeep. It's oversprung, over-dampened, and honestly kind of bouncy most of the time, something that I think will come into its own when Emmy takes it off-road. But this is the only one of the three that gives you that SUV driving perspective. You're sitting up high, you're looking over the world and all the smaller cars around you. In fact, this car feels like a much bigger car than it actually is. By the way, did you know that Jeep has been making cars since 1941? I didn't either, but thankfully they stamped it right here on the center of the dashboard, just in case you need to see that every time you drive the car. Maybe it's a Jeep thing? I don't get it. Next up is the new HR-V, which has actually been on the market in Japan for a couple of years now, where it's called the Vezel. Why the name change? Well, Honda obviously wants you to think of this as being closely related to its big brother, the CR-V. Actually, it's much closer to the Fit, but that's a good thing. The car weighs 3,100 pounds in all-wheel drive trim, as we have here, and it's powered by a 141 horsepower motor, but go with the front-wheel drive trim and you can shave some 200 pounds off of that figure. Now, if you're looking to tow a jet ski or miniature pony or the like, you should know that Honda doesn't recommend towing anything with this car, and that's despite having a 1,500-pound tow rating in Japan. Overall, the HR-V is a comfortable drive, if not a particularly invigorating drive. The 141 horsepower offers decent performance and the ride is comfortable, but it's not really a great corner carver by any means. The car has a continuously variable transmission, or a CVT, which enthusiasts love to hate. But this one's actually reasonably responsive. It's not going to invigorate your life by any means, but it does do a good job of getting power to ground, and it does give you great fuel economy, which is pretty important in this segment. Finally is the sporty-looking Mazda CX-3, which actually delivers on that look. It's the lightest of the bunch at 2,800 pounds, but remember, this is the only car with front-wheel drive. Go with the all-wheel drive model, and you're looking at 2,950 pounds, which is still pretty light compared to the competition. The motor puts down 146 horsepower, and while Mazda again does not rate this car for towing in the US, in Europe it's rated for a massive 2,600 pounds, which would have actually been class leading, except again, you're not supposed to tow anything with it here in the US. As soon as you sit in this car, you realize that this is far and away the sportiest of the bunch. Their seats actually have bolsters, which actually work. The steering wheel actually feels direct, and while it's not especially powerful, again, 146 horsepower is not a lot, it does get up and go with more aplomb than any of the other. It corners better. It does have a little bit of roll in the corners, but you can actually have a genuinely good time in this car, much more so than either of the other two.
Of course, to driving your car from point A to point Z, you're also probably going to have to haul some stuff. Stuff like laundry baskets or bicycles or babies, right? People haul babies. The Renegade's the middle of the bunch. I've got 18.5 cubic feet of space behind the seats, but I don't think that that's going to be enough for a bicycle. So let's take this guy out. Let's see how we are with laundry baskets. Let's see, I can't double stack my laundry basket, so I can get 2 laundry baskets back there. All right, car seats, car seats, car seats. Ugh! Let's see, can get this guy in here like that. All right, that fits well. Let's get this booster seat. Oh my gosh, why are these so heavy? They don't even have kids in them. This guy fits in the middle. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna be able to fit 3 all the way through. I don't know, you guys. The second row seat, I'm not sure we're gonna get all 3. Wait, get in there, kid. Oh my gosh. So, 2 laundry baskets, 3 car seats, no bike. Now the Mazda is definitely the smallest of the bunch. I've only got 10.1 cubic feet of space back here in our Grand Touring model, although that gets a little bit bigger for the other trim lines. But I'm not even gonna try the bike. I know it's not gonna work. But laundry baskets, looks like it's 1. Trademark laundry basket rating of 1. All right, now for the car seats, let's see. All right, we gotta get 3 of these babies across. Man, it's hot. Hauling babies is hot. Ugh. All right, oh my gosh, 1. Get in there. And big guy. You guys, I really have to get back to the gym. Oh, jeez. And there's 2. I'm not sure about this 3rd one. This might be pushing it. God, how can these weigh so much? Yeah, I mean, safety 3rd and all, but that doesn't look right. So I think that we can definitely only get 2 baby seats across the back. Now, if you do want to fold those rear seats down, you get 42.3 cubic feet of space, which will give you enough for probably 4 laundry baskets. But yeah, this is small. God, I gotta get in better shape. But the true winner is the Honda HR-V. I've got 23.2 cubic feet of space behind these seats. It's not quite enough for the bike, but it's definitely gonna be enough for a trademark laundry basket rating. Let's see. Of 4. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. Trademark laundry basket rating of 4. But let's see what happens with the car seats. Number 1. I'm getting so good at this. It's like I had kids myself, which is hilarious to anybody who knows me. Man, this Britex car seat, this kid's got 2 cup holders. Man, I don't even have 2 cup holders in my car. And the last one. There we go. Uh-oh. Phew. 3 car seats, trademark laundry basket rating of 4. But there is another thing that makes this car even better when it comes to utility. Come on, let's find out. So here's what makes the Honda HR-V so special. 2 words for you. Magic seat, baby. All right, anyway, so I just flipped this guy up, push that down, and look, I've got room to haul things that are 4 feet tall.
For navigation and in-cabin electronics, picking a winner from these 3 cars is tough. All the navigation systems show plan and perspective view maps, and they all use traffic data for dynamic route guidance. The Jeep and the Honda use touchscreens, while the Mazda has a dial controller on the console. None of these cars support Apple CarPlay or Android Auto yet, and that would give them an edge. This Renegade comes with a compact version of Jeep's Uconnect system that shows on the 6.5-inch touchscreen. Now, I really like the full-size Uconnect system on other Jeep models, but this one's kind of cluttered. It's a little harder to find my way around the interface. At first blush, the Honda HR-V's nav system looks really good. There's these touch controls on the bezel. They only light up when you need them, and these menu icons slide into place. That looks really cool. But when you get into the sub-menus, you kind of lose the aesthetic appeal. It doesn't look quite as good. Now, for connected features, I've got Pandora and AHA apps integrated with this system. Those have to be running off a connected smartphone. My winning pick in this category is the Mazda CX-3. Here I've got simple controls on the console that let me control everything on this 7-inch screen. From this simple home screen, I can get music, phone, and navigation really easily. And guess what? This is actually a touch screen too, so if I can't figure out these controls, I can just choose what I want right here. As with all the navigation systems here, the CX-3 shows really nice maps. I get 3D rendered buildings in the city, and out in the country here I got nice topographical features. But this system works a little bit better because when I'm browsing around, it moves just a little more smoothly than the other systems. For connected features, I have AHA, Pandora, and Stitcher apps integrated with the car. Those would have to be running on my phone to work. But what really puts the CX-3 over the top is its driver assistance features. All the cars in this test have a backup camera and some sort of blind spot monitoring system, but the CX-3 takes it further by having a head-up display and adaptive cruise control. Those add safety and comfort on the highway, and that makes the CX-3 the winner in the electronics category.
And now my favorite part of the test, that's right, it's the off-road part. Now, I want to make a little bit of a distinction between all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. I mean, we could go on forever about this, but suffice it to say that all-wheel drive is best for inclement weather and four-wheel drive is best for inclement terrain. Like this giant hill here behind me that we're going to take all 3 cars up. Now, this is the front-wheel drive CX-3. You can get an all-wheel drive, and that's pretty engaging on the pavement, but this has only got 6.1 inches of ground clearance, so we're not going anywhere. I can't even get past the first bump. Yeah, I would say you don't want to take this baby on anything else besides a graded dirt road. And now I got to try to back this up. Ooh, okay. Now the HR-V fares a little bit better in that it has 6.7 inches of ground clearance, and it's got all-wheel tires, but they're rated for mud and snow. But it's still just an all-wheel drive car. There's no low range. There's nothing. The all-wheel drive system is definitely going to do what it wants to do, not necessarily what you want it to do. But it's pulling this a lot better than I thought it was going to. Just going as slow as I am. There we go. That's as far as we're going to get. That was a good 8 feet of the hill. Honestly, you know, if you had to get through some soft sand, probably dropping your tire pressures and keeping the revs high would get you through it, but don't get cocky. All right, Jeep Renegade time. Now this is the trail rated version. I have got skid plates on my transfer case, transmission, and on my fuel cell. I've got 5 different off-road modes here. Auto, snow, sand, mud, and rock. I have put this baby into sand, and look at that. She is crawling up like it ain't no thing. Now, if I wanted to put this into the low gear, I could have, come on girl, come on girl, come on girl, there you go. I could have a 20-to-1 low gear ratio, but I really don't think I need that. Whew! Oh man, there is nothing like going off-road. I just love it so much. Oh, no. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Yes. That's my baby. How you doing? Honestly, all you got to do is let the car do the work for you, right? You want to go as slow as possible and as fast as necessary. There. All right, I see a spot up here where I can turn around, because another great thing that the Renegade has is hill descent control. So let me get this baby turned around. I'm going to go downhill, right? And I've got hill descent control. So I'm going to put it in 4 low and press hill descent control. hill descent is on. And now I'm gonna take my foot off the brake and all I'm gonna do is steer. And I have to tell you, it's a little nerve-wracking. Look at that. It might not seem like it's super steep, you guys, but it's pretty steep. It goes pretty good. If you're going up on your mountain roads to your cabin, I think you're gonna be pretty satisfied.
You've seen how the tests went. Let's talk about the results. Emmy, I think we got a clear winner for the off-road portion.
Oh my gosh, of course. I mean, the Renegade, it's trail rated. I've got a 20-to-1 crawl ratio. I've got skid plates on the bottom. This thing is going to get you wherever you need to go within reason.
How about the interior technology?
Well, for the nav systems and stuff like that, you know, it's a pretty tough choice. They all have connected features. They all have really good nav systems, but I went with the CX-3 ultimately because it also has driver assistance systems. It's got adaptive cruise control and a head-up display, and you just don't really find that in this segment. None of these cars quite match that, so CX-3 for electronics.
And in terms of driving dynamics, the Jeep has the most power, but it really doesn't feel that way on the road. All of us were fighting over the keys for the CX-3. That's the most fun on the road for sure. The HR-V is fine. It's comfortable. It's not really that dynamic. It kind of lacks personality. But by and large, absolutely the CX-3 is the most fun, but we still got to pick a winner here.
Yeah, that's a tough one to slice up because each of these cars has their strengths, you know. I mean, I would personally go with the CX-3 because I like the looks of it and I like the driving character. But maybe at the end of the day for this segment, practicality.
Emmy, which would you take home?
Yeah, I mean, I always pick my cars based on personality, and the Jeep Renegade has it in spades, so I really do love that. But again, I do see the value in the HR-V.
Yeah, and I think in terms of driving dynamics again, which would be something that I would be looking for, would be the CX-3. But ultimately, if you're talking practicality and if you're talking about cost and economy too, the Honda's pretty hard to beat. So I think we got to go with the practical choice, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got to admit, I like the CX-3 too. Great driving character, but calling it an SUV, it's so small, it's so tiny. There's no cargo room, and just, you know, for this segment, practicality, 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 HR-V.
All right, well, if you want to go off-road, it's the Jeep. If you want to have the most fun on the road, it's the Mazda. But overall, it's got to be the Honda HR-V.